For as long as I can remember, I wanted to play basketball. I was still in preschool when my mom signed my sister up for a little kids basketball class, and we would sit on the sidelines and watch her. One day, the coach was short some players and said, "Come on, hotshot, let's see what you got." Wow, I was hooked just like that. As a very young kid, being good at something made me even more interested, and I became a regular part of that class. I quickly became obsessed with basketball. I devoted all my energy to perfecting my skills and improving my ability. In season, I kept sharp by working out, practicing, and playing. In the off-season, I attended classes and camps just so I could learn as much as possible. I played with numerous sprains, strains, broken bones, chronic knee pain, when I was sick and when I was tired. I chose to fit my life into basketball instead of fitting basketball into my life. By 9, I made the travel team and was lucky that my dad had the knowledge and interest to offer to coach. We built a team then that stayed together until our last eligible season as 13s. 4 of us went on to play together in high school. We were very lucky to be able to continue that all these years and develop strong relationships on and off the court. I was supposed to play with them through high school, and now I can't. My first concussion was in 7th grade. My opponent and I dove for a loose ball at the same time. We collided and I hit my head on the floor. In my very next game, about a week later, I fell and slid into the wrestling mats. That was the first time we went to the emergency room, where they checked me out and told me to stay out 1 to 2 days. There were other head injuries. Sometimes they told me to wait 2 weeks, and sometimes wait until the headaches stopped. But the headaches were always there. I just didn't put them together with the accidents. My parents took me to different doctors, and each one told me something else. But none of them told me to stop playing. As long as they didn't tell me to stop, I kept playing. I never really acknowledged how I felt to myself or to anyone else. Some of my concussions were very scary, like the time I couldn't see or the time my body twitched for weeks. With the last couple, I stayed out much longer. The last concussion I had in a game was what seemed like a minor hit, but my knees buckled and I hit the floor. 4 weeks later, I accidentally got hit in the head with the gym door that was pushed open by one of my best friends. I don't remember much after that, but I felt lousy for a long time. I couldn't stand lights or the sound. I was dizzy and I'm nauseous. That's when the headaches got really bad and never went away. I cried all the time. I couldn't go to school and I didn't want to see my friends, nothing. I will never forget how I felt when the doctor finally told me I had to stop playing basketball forever. It actually made me sick to my stomach. I missed a lot of school and had teachers come to my house. When I finally went back for just a few hours a day, I was really tired and I couldn't concentrate at all. That was last year, and this year I can't always make a whole day. I've had to move down to lower levels and make other changes as well. I struggle with subjects I used to do well in, so I lose interest quickly. Since there are so many things I can't participate in, I've lost touch with some friends. Because there are no crutches or bandages or casts, I look perfectly normal. And some people don't really believe me, and that hurts. The administration, especially the principal, Mr. North, and athletic director, Mr. Ryden, has been on my side, and I can really rely on the school's athletic trainer, Mr. Bramble, to keep me positive. Throughout this whole ordeal, he has had the most profound influence on me. What he does for our school and for me personally is much more than ice bags and tape. He understands us as athletes and as kids and can relate to us easily. Mr. Bramble makes me feel totally secure when I'm in school attending athletic events or just hanging out during practice. Recently, I passed out after he had left the building and he had returned and treated me until I was able to go home a couple hours later. This is a tough time of year for me because it's basketball season. I go to all the practices and games to support my team and keep involved. I can sit on the bench, but they're afraid, so they move me back a row, and Mr. Bramble and Mr. Ryden sit with me to keep me safe. We watch the girls I've played with my whole life, and I feel so sad. And if anyone complains, I get angry because at least they can play. However, it's not just the basketball. Life is much harder, and I'm left out of a lot of activities. I can't drive, go to the movies, ride a train, swim, exercise, or ride a bus with my teammates. I wear earplugs to drown out the noise and sunglasses for the brightness. And I've had to miss a bunch of Sweet 16 parties. Because my brain hasn't completely healed yet, even a slight hit to my head makes me pass out, and I have had a few setbacks like that. I have learned that it's not only the big hits, but even the dozens of somewhat minor impacts along the way that can change someone's life forever. What I want other kids like me to know is that it's much better to miss a month or a season or even a year than it is to have your whole life changed. Many of my friends get hurt and refuse to tell anyone. They play with all kinds of injuries, but they can't get away with a head injury with me. I beg them to be honest with the school and with themselves. It is important for parents, athletes, teachers, and coaches to learn more about the seriousness of concussions. I have been interviewed on television and in newspapers and was invited to speak at a press conference in the Capitol to help Congressman Pascrell and Senator Menendez introduce a bill that would improve awareness, set guidelines, provide funding for computerized neurological testing. I am lucky that our school now has a good support system in place. We have a terrific certified athletic trainer and everyone uses the impact test. There is no way to cheat on it. All schools should have what we have, and all athletes must put aside their egos and bravado and stop thinking that they can play through anything. There is no shame in sitting out until you feel absolutely fine. Thank you.